The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
Why is it we're just starting to see the early numbers from them? Is that what it is?
No, I think they normally come out with this poll, but it's just surprising because it's going the opposite way of what everybody, the way it usually trends.
Iowa of all places. So polls close for 7 local time, right?
Normally, yeah.
But if you're in line, they should let you in?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So somebody should be out there watching a line, not with an AR-15 or anything.
No.
So I guess we won't know anything other than exit polls are showing.
Correct.
Or such and such is reporting. We won't know much tomorrow night.
No,
unless Harris wins Pennsylvania something massive.
Yeah, I think it would be. You're going to get. We should be getting fairly accurate results fairly quickly.
Right.
Like the states that are going to take forever are the ones
Georgia.
are the ones that don't count their mail-in ballots and their early votes until the night of the election.
See, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, and that's just a handful of states. Like other ones have already counted, and they're already publishing.
About,
yeah.
Right, Iowa.
But those will be the states too, particularly with the large amount of early voting, or at least what you hope is that they've counted them. They just haven't released the results.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then it's just like boom, and then. That's going to give Steve Karnacki like a big old boner.
He's already got a boner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's already warming up. He's been warming up all year.
Yeah, which is, and
everything's come down to this moment.
Which he doesn't come out and say it, but he is one of those dudes who very subtly is like, let's not don't believe all the polling. Because he's always about historically this county goes this way and that way and blah blah blah. But
that's why I like him, because he's like, oh no, look at this.
Yeah.
See this spot right here? That's normally big bright red. Look at it, it's a little shade of purple.
Right.
Yeah, except that's him.
So, but
talking about the minutia of it all. I've said that word 3 times.
Well, and there's always. As far as I remember, unless it's like a full-on landslide, like George W. Bush versus John Kerry.
I like Mondale.
Yeah, that was a beating. Fucking Reagan.
Yeah, I know. God, that's so.
But or was it like Nixon versus McGovern? Like it was like
why did we? Can I tap out?
Yeah, was there any reason of holding that election?
Yeah. But hey, again, free and fair election is what we are built on.
But there's always some random state that shakes it. Again, Georgia was last time.
Yeah, which one is it going to be? Iowa?
But
how many electoral votes are up there? Which I'm going to get to that in a minute.
At this point, any electoral vote is going to be
worth it. Can we just get rid of
a fucking game changer?
Why, without getting too far in the weeds? Why do we have this shit again? Is it population density?
It's
because it's based on the census, right? So
no. So the number of electoral votes are the numbers of representatives and senators that every state has.
Okay.
So that's why Louisiana has 8. We have 6 reps, 2 senators. So.
And that's how every state's broken down.
Yes.
Which again is based on population.
The representative portion, yes.
Right.
Yeah. So you get even Wyoming and Montana have 3. Yeah.
Right. So states can add and lose reps based on population. Really?
Yeah. So in the
so is that why Florida keeps gaining so many fucking
and
Arizona,
Texas, yeah.
And Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And every every 10, 20 years, like California might lose one, New York might lose one.
Right, that makes sense.
So,
God, it's crazy that all of the people from the North. Wow. Okay.
but that's also
We're
too
just going to
like,
take this rep from New York as these 100,000 people move to Florida. We'll move that rep here.
essentially, yeah. And then,
That is so. Go ahead.
but then remember, there is a cap on the total number of representatives in the House.
Right.
So you can't exceed, was it like 235, I think, or like.
Wouldn't that suck if, like, for some reason we have 236 and they're elected and they're just like.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why they make it an odd number. So
Right, yeah,
if for whatever reason,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
But
That extra.
I don't think that's ever happened. But
Hey, man.
yeah, crazier shit has happened.
And is happening.
But I mean, the supporters of the Electoral College are. Now it's primarily down to like southern states, so that they have some power when it comes to electing a president.
Is that something? Is that? I guess you would, of course, need an amendment if you went straight popular vote and get rid of the Electoral College.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never happened.
You know, it depends, because like, you know, if in this climate, say like, you know, Trump were to win the popular vote, but lose the Electoral College, you would see the script change. I bet you would all of a sudden hear,
and you know, Democrats would be like, okay,
yeah,
of course,
that's when they should do that,
right?
But
that'll never happen.
no, because it's like, this is how it's another way that what would you say, conservatives stay in power,
right?
Is by abusing the Electoral College.
Correct.
So
the case Louisiana has one.
Yeah. So, and on
which affects Mike Johnson, which is fucking hilarious.
But you know, on one hand, you look at it from the perspective of the states that don't have large populations.
Right.
You would be looking at, you know, whichever way the West Coast and the Northeast and the Midwest states vote, that would be your president. And then your vote essentially is null and void.
I mean, that's kind of what it is now with the
right, being a liberal in the South.
Right,
yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, I mean, we do a symbolic vote, but like, Harris is not winning Louisiana.
No.
So
unless, well, there are paths to her winning, but.
Well, no, I mean, they've passed laws where
and I'm not even talking about law. I'm just saying if.
Electors have to vote the way of the.
And if we got enough people here to vote that don't vote.
Oh yeah,
between New Orleans and Shreveport.
Yeah.
And half of Baton Rouge, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
the state will be blue. Texas is starting to figure that out.
Correct. Yeah.
Like Ted Cruz might not be a senator. I'm not getting my hopes up.
No, but
good God,
we can dream.
Watching him squirm out there is fucking beautiful. Lindsey Graham's not on the ticket this time, is he?
No.
Fuckface.
Yeah, same as
Adams not going anywhere. Just like Jim Jordan or Marjorie Taylor Greene or any of those Nazis. Excuse me.
Well, no, I mean, Jim Jordan and MTG are up for re-election. I don't know if they have qualified candidates running against them, but
no, I think
they have to run every 2 years.
Marjorie Taylor Greene does.
I mean, she should.
Yeah, I think she does.
I mean, even if it's another Republican, but
and Boebert changed districts and won.
But she won her primary.
Correct.
But yeah, whether or not she's going to win against the.
God,
I think it's a brand new district too, so there's no incumbent.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All those little ones matter too, because God forbid Trump somehow makes it. I need as many Democratic seats in both chambers as possible, because if not,
well, that's where Texas is important. And we talked about it last week of Harris campaigning there and doing having Beyonce come out.
Yep.
And that, Harris may not win the state, but if she can get down ballot votes for House reps and senator, then and if she doesn't win overall, it could change. It could change the makeup of Congress. Which then, if Congress is Democrat,
yes,
House and Senate,
then you finally have some checks and balances. He can't fire representatives.
Exactly. Yeah.
No matter what he wants to do, it has to go through Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Plan B.
Yeah. Which, I'll get to that at the end about when we get to the end of it all, but
yeah, so we should know fairly. No, we won't. It'll be a tight race until I want to go to bed.
Oh, well, yeah, no, we won't know
unless
the day
one of them is blowing the other one.
Yeah, which I doubt that would be the case, but I don't. The only thing that would push it further, like we were talking about last night, is if a lot of these states who have the recount triggers already in,
right,
and they don't get outside of that margin, then you're going to see, then it's going to be recount, then recount, then recount. And
which is what we did last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Georgia recounted 3 times. It triggered the first time, and then they contested it. Yeah. We did it again.
So I think that's one that you're going to see. It'll probably happen in 1 or 2 states, but I don't think it's going to be
across. No. That's why we're only talking about 1 or 2 battleground states.
I mean, honestly speaking, this one is so like as if it's college football,
right?
That no, most states are at least going to be beyond the margin of error. So
exactly.
So we should know.
Like you can look at the map, and there's a half dozen maybe that.
And
you're looking at going, okay, these 6 matter.
Right. And the other difference now too is that we've had, versus last time, we have 4 years of Biden also appointing judges to the lower districts. So
even though
you might get a lot of those arguments to recount in states, because it's all about federal election law. So that still should have to go, I think.
There are still people in positions as electors that are in trouble from the last time. God, who was it? I read an article somewhere. I don't know where it was. The Post, maybe. I don't know.
Well, and that's one where,
where it was like, but they don't. Again, it's federal law. These people want to act like fake electors already.
Well, and generally, like, if you look at the Louisiana sample ballot, the electors are already picked. Like, Cedric Richmond is one of the Democrat electors. So it's like, if Harris were to win Louisiana, the slate's already picked.
Right.
And theoretically, those people have already been vetted, but they are at least have already been informed too. It is federal law that you have to vote as the state votes.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
Because I'm sure it's like that, like these people who are still on there, just because they broke the fucking law. And then anybody
that thinks that they can go in and vote differently,
right,
at the end, which of course it doesn't work that way. Like, you don't show up to Congress and raise your hand.
No. Right.
It's that you fill out. The paperwork's filled out. You just sign it.
Sign it, right?
And then it's sent in, and then they count it on the 6th.
So how do you get to fake one that the Republicans are just like, no, that person doesn't exist. This person exists.
Right. Yeah.
They literally tried to get okay.
Or after the election is finalized, the state house would go, no, we don't want that slate. We want this slate.
Okay.
But again, all that should be agreed upon and finalized before the election.
Just another reason that this whole process doesn't make sense to
me.
It
would be a lot easier. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.